Heard you were coming. I prepared a data pad on our laws regarding war. Learn them.
Let's go over this
Ryder.
again, everyone. Center,
Wish I
ground,
could join in
focus.
down there.
That's how to
I could
harness
use a
your ability in
workout.
combat. What we're doing right now is nothing like a battlefield. Before you go into the field, you need to attain focus without thinking about it.
Getting lots of stares.
Again.
Reminds me of being on Thessia for Asari commando training. We're the aliens.
Got any tips on navigating an alien society?
Be yourself, but your best self. Listen and be polite about scanning your food. Though that's good advice in general. I saw a few Angara crying on my way here. Wonder if they heard about exaltation. I wanted to stop and say something. What can you say?
Pathfinder, Ephra cleared you to purchase weapons. Over my objections.
Hey, selling an alien weapons would make me nervous too.
I don't do this for Ephra. I respect the Moshai.
Sam, is this thing safe?
Yes. The slight ringing in your ears is nothing to worry about.
Very reassuring.
I assume you're the human everyone's buzzing about. If you're looking for treatment, I'm afraid I don't know enough about human physiology to be much help. Unless you can make use of the ion beds.
Is there something special about the beds here?
They're filled with a negatively charged ion gel. The gel works with our natural electricity to speed recovery.
Think it'd work on other species?
Without bioelectricity, it would be of small benefit, but it might reduce pain.
So you guys are electrically charged?
Our bodies produce a store of electricity that we can dispel in a surge of energy. We use it for short-range communication, healing, even combat. I admit, I was surprised to learn your kind doesn't have that ability.
Some of us are biotic. It's similar, kinda.
I would be interested to study biotics.
If Jal takes a hit on my watch, my doctor needs to know how to treat him. Can you point me to resources she can use to learn your methods?
So you're considering all possibilities. Jal is in good hands. I have medical journals on treating Angaran injuries and preventing complications. You're welcome to upload them to your ship's doctor for study.
I'll get moving.
Ishari.
Getting enough sunlight.
Plenty.
And the ion bed. They've calibrated it.
Everything's fine, Taoshi. Stop worrying.
Ryder, they've got amazing RemTech research going on here. You know, the more I interact with the Angara, the more I feel for them. Especially with what we know about exaltation. I can't imagine.
The Angara are resilient. Learning what the Ket are doing will give them new purpose.
Well, I'm determined to help them. We need to make things right.
Oh, you're here. Welcome to my favorite place in the galaxy. Pathfinder, did you make it to Hervarl?
I found this Angaran helmet. Does it mean anything to you?
This is a pre-Dark Age design. Do you see the black marks? The Scourge targeted this pilot's ship. Stars, it's perfectly preserved. I can almost imagine the pilot. He must have been so afraid. I've never seen one of these intact. Do you know how rare this is? I can't even begin to repay you.
Why would the Scourge target that ship?
It must have been a remnant vessel, or maybe there's remnant tech in the helmet itself. Can you imagine? Our ancestors using the remnant. You know, Pathfinder, this gets me thinking. If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't even know that helmet existed. What if that's not all we're missing? There could be a wealth of history just out of our reach. So, I'm requesting your help again.
Just tell me what I need to do.
I've led digs on every Angaran homeworld, but there are places I've missed, areas only a Pathfinder could go. There could be relics sitting untouched for centuries because no one could reach them. What I ask is this: if you ever find yourself in an area like that, you keep an eye out for artifacts.
I already found one. Take a look at this.
This is unfamiliar to me. It does resemble an Angara, but it looks so strange. It's clearly centuries old. Is it an artistic interpretation, or is this what we really look like? The implications. Pathfinder, you may have discovered our earliest artifact yet.
Could it be a relic from another culture?
The technique and material matches other Angaran relics, and you found it in one of our worlds. But perhaps the depiction isn't an Angara. It could be a deity of some sort.
You said the helmet was touched by the Scourge? What does that mean?
I forget your people weren't around for that. When the Scourge appeared, it targeted remnant ships, broke down their technology. With the drive cores disabled...
The ships crashed.
But that may not be all. The Scourge leaves a mark on whatever it touches. If it touched this helmet, perhaps the pilot was the target. There may be remnant tech inside the helmet.
Or in the pilot.
Storms. I hadn't even thought of that.
Any insight you can give me on the remnant tech?
We don't know much. To our understanding, it's always been here. Stars. I would love to be the one to solve that mystery.
This is quite a place.
It feels like home to me. Sometimes I think I should move in here. But it's got a long way to go. Someday we'll fill it with relics of the past, each one telling a story. And my people will come here to learn. And to remember.
You'll get there.
With enough hard work, yes.
Is it normal for someone as young as you to be in charge?
I'm no younger than you. And you're a Pathfinder.
I kinda inherited the job.
So did I. I was apprenticed to the former curator. It was my job to bring him artifacts from other worlds. When he retired, I sort of fell into his position.
Do you miss relic hunting?
Some days, but mostly I'm happy to spend more time with each piece.
Have you always been into history?
Oh yes. When I was young, I would dig up shells and pretend they were ancient armor pieces. I've always had a big imagination. With only 14 siblings, I got lonely sometimes.
14? That's insane.
Why? How many do you have?
Just the one.
Oh, that's terrible. I'm sorry.
I'll come back when I have something.
Stars guide your travels. That figure really is something.
Avela thinks it's an ancient deity.
Something about it calls to me, like a friend.
Oh, it's you. I watched you land.
Hope you're not calling me it anymore.
You heard that. I apologize. I was ignorant.
What's your job around here?
Aelin and I help Avela with her studies. I specialize in restoration.
So you make relics look new.
New as I can. I'm not a miracle worker, no matter what Avela says. She'll praise Ellen and I to anyone who will listen. Never had a supervisor like that before.
I'll leave you to it.
I've heard so much about you. Is it true you entered a vault on Eos?
Sure is.
Amazing. I would have liked to see that.
Are you a relic hunter like Avela?
Actually, I started as an engineer. The Moshai requested my help cracking encryption on a remnant ship she found. Eventually, that led me to the repository. I've been handling data encryption here ever since.
I take it you help run this place.
Nalan and I are Avela's assistants. It's been strange getting used to that.
Why?
Avela's much younger than the previous curator. She has a lot more energy. Sometimes I have to remind her to take a break. She's too passionate for her own good.
I'll let you get back to it.
Something I can do for you?
Can I get a few of those fruits for the Tempest?
More than one? You Pathfinders are richer than I thought.
What do you mean?
You really are new to Helios. Look at it this way. This parapo feeds 1. Or we can break it down into nutrient paste and feed 20. Raw fruit is rare because it's excessive. A luxury. Better to make the most out of it, right?
Is that what you guys eat?
Of course. It gives us the nutrition we need without wasting resources. The food we grow is precious. We have to make the most of it. And once in a while, we treat ourselves.
As appetizing as paste sounds, I'll stick to fresh fruit.
At least pay a visit to the Tavitan and try it out. I'll send a few fruits to your ship in the meantime. A gift.
I'll get moving.
When you have a moment, we should talk. Pathfinder, this is a tremendous honor. I must express my admiration for all you've done. Crossing the void between galaxies, navigating the Scourge to find Aya. Incredible.
The odds were against us, that's for sure.
Yet here we are, strangers from different galaxies conversing in friendship. Extraordinary. I am Mariko Darej, Chief Voneron.
A Voneron. That's very... I don't know what.
Ah, linguistics, not my strength. I am a celestial observer, charting the movements of stars, planets, and the Scourge.
An astronomer. You know the safe routes out there?
We deploy satellites that alert us to new hazards and opportunities. But we've lost contact with several key observers. They've simply stopped. I sent a vessel to scan their last known locations, but nothing's been found. Your Tempest is highly advanced. I hoped you could aid our search.
Even Pathfinders need a good map. I'll look into it.
I knew you'd understand. I'll provide search nav points. And when I can finally reconcile our charts with fresh satellite data, I'll gladly share all we have.
Ryder, I analyzed all the food samples you sent. You're good to go. Everything is safe.
You sure?
Liam already ate the Parapo, and he's not dead.
Good enough for me.
I passed my data along to the Nexus. Congratulations, Ryder. We have food.
Director Tan, good news. The Angara opened an embassy for us on Aya.
That is a surprise? What are their expectations?
I convinced them we're friends. Try not to mess it up.
I do not mess it up. I will gather envoys and send them to Aya. Thank you, Pathfinder. We'll take it from here.
Wait, Lexi, your dad was Turian? That explains so much.
What's that supposed to mean?
Here we go. You know, how uptight you are.
I am not uptight.
Not even 300 years old and fussing at us like a matriarch.
I'm a doctor. Fussing's part of the job.
I thought I hated the Kett before. Then we learned about exaltation. I can't even begin to imagine how Jal feels about this.
I was curious about you and Sid, being on your own from such a young age.
Yeah, I really wouldn't recommend it.
Where was your mother in all this?
Back on Palaven, I suppose. She was an awful person. All she cared about was climbing the ranks. She and my dad fought all the time. I think at the end they hated each other. When things were really tough, I thought about going back. But she wouldn't have accepted us. Whatever my dad did destroyed any chance of that.
Where was home? Palaven?
No, we'd already left Palaven by then. Whatever our dad was involved in meant we weren't welcome there. I hadn't even gone to boot camp yet. Sid was barely a year old. We eventually settled in a mining colony in the Minos wasteland. 2 years later, our dad was gone.
How did you keep you and your sister afloat?
I was barely more than a kid myself, so lots of unskilled work. Construction jobs. No one else would do the dangerous stuff, so I would. Being up high, crawling under things. I could shoot a gun, so eventually I moved into smuggling. Even more dangerous, but lucrative. We were never rich, but we got to comfortable.
You probably have work to do. We can chat later.
You know where to find me.
We were right about the vault on Aya, huh? What a find.
And this Meridian vault might jumpstart all the others.
I knew hitching my wagon to yours would pay off.
So what's your take? Is this Meridian what we think it is?
Everything we've seen, each remnant system we've uncovered, is connected to everything else. The bots, the monoliths, the vaults. It stands to reason that activating Meridian will connect the entire network and rekindle terraforming across the cluster.
So you think we're doing the right thing?
Well, yeah.
Thanks for chatting. We'll talk again later.
You know it.
Now, exaltation. The cat just keep asking for more trouble.
Really looking forward to kicking those guys in the teeth.
Get us there, and we'll save you a place in line.
Did I hear right? You're going after the Archon's ship?
Looks like it.
Last time we crossed his path, you nearly broke my baby here. Now, tell me you have a better plan of escape this go-around.
I've got it all under control.
How naive do I look? Just... stay out of the skirt, huh?
How's your friend Jill doing?
Good. Busy. Apparently, prepping multiple species for procreation is a lot of work. Who knew? Waiting to get it all started was killing her. Now she's being shot out of a cannon, so to speak.
Regale me with some poker wisdom.
Well, bluffing and reading players aside, poker is all about math. If the odds of getting the card you need are greater than the bet, make the bet.
Good talking to you, Gil.
Anytime.
Ryder.
Got any stories or advice to share?
Does a pyjak scratch its butt?
Tell me more about fighting Ket.
Ascendant. Keep your distance. Don't let him get you in those force fields. Pop that little orb, then shoot him in the head, just like anything else.
Tell me more about fighting Ket.
Fiends, kid. Even I'm not gonna mess with those at close range. Keep your distance. Shoot them in the red fleshy bits, or I guess in the face if you can't flank them.
Tell me more about fighting Ket.
Shoot stuff and don't die. Always works for me.
We can talk more later.
Sure.
That vault on Aya was so gorgeous, so alive.
And Meridian might be the key to the others.
No wonder the Archon wants to control it, like everything in Helios.
Any more Commando war stories?
Always liked Janae. She was only 200, and with me around, she wasn't the kid anymore. She was a biotic protege. I once saw her yank an AA gun right off its housing. Crushed a gang of slavers with it.
Ouch.
They didn't feel it for long. Janae was a good friend. Maybe she still is back there. Won't be a kid now, though.
Any more Commando war stories?
Not just now. I'll try to remember a good one.
See you later, Cora.
I'll be here.
Hey, little guy.
Makes you wish for a tail that lets you hang upside down. Oh, maybe that's just me.
say about that facility on Vault.
There will be. But maybe not right now.
I get you, pal. Inane chatter about nothing coming up.
There's always more to say and to learn, isn't there?
I want to learn more about your species.
What would you like to know?
You studied with Moshe Sefa. Is she a teacher or a religious figure?
She's many things. She's a clear thinker with deep knowledge and insight. She teaches and inspires. She's beloved. I love her.
Really? So one of those professor-student things?
No, not that way. Moshe Sefa is 115 of your years old.
How long have you had electromagnetic capabilities? How did they evolve?
No idea. Biology doesn't interest me, but I'm sure you can easily read up on it.
That's disappointing. No biology at all?
How do your eyeballs work?
An internal lens focuses an image onto the retina where it becomes electrical impulses that are deciphered by the brain.
You took my sarcasm as an invitation to show off. Pitiful.
The Angara seem so open and free with their feelings.
Are we? We're certainly not ashamed of our feelings. We're taught that feelings and beliefs should live on the outside, where they can be dealt with, honestly and openly.
Don't people get hurt?
Of course. Then everyone deals with it. That's the point.
How many colonies do you have? On what planets?
Since the Scourge, we've managed to survive on a small number of planets. What we know from before the Scourge is mostly oral history. We did have spaceflight, and the stories tell of 5 original colonies.
Is there a central Angaran religion?
There are many variations. An almanac could give you an accurate number. But if you are a believer, the essential tenet is, after we die, we are reincarnated. We evolve to make our families strong. Born from what was before. Blessed to be better than before.
Are you a believer?
No. Yes. Sometimes. I don't know if it's the same for humans. Sahuna, my true mother, is a firm believer.
Well, enough about that. Can I ask you a few more questions?
Of course. If I can answer them, I will.
Did you always want to be a fighter? Did you study anything particular in school?
No. I don't like to talk about it. But I'm not a fighter. Not really. The Ket occupation creates chaos. So our education is chaotic. I'm not really anything. But that's an excuse. The truth is, I don't know what I want. Yet. For my life. At my age. I hope being here will inspire me.
Can you tell me about your family? Assuming you have one.
Sit down. This will take time. Is someone bringing us snacks and drinks?
Whoa, your family's that big?
I have one true mother, Sahuna. And more than 5 additional mothers. And many siblings. And cousins. All raised together. Our families constantly change and evolve. Relationships come and they go. My father is gone. Taken. Or killed. By the Ket. We never found his body.
I'm sorry about that, Jal. I understand. I just lost my dad.
Something in common between aliens, then. We are fatherless, yet we fight on. Anything else you want to ask?
Do Angara plan their futures? Do you dream about what you want to accomplish?
You put plan and dream in the same question.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. You meant to do that. Angara thirst for now. We don't strive to make the future better. We strive because the present is lacking.
Well, enough about that. Can you tell me more about the Ket occupation?
It's a difficult subject. I'll answer what I can. I may get emotional.
What's living under the Ket been like for you?
Do you really want to hear about these things? They're painful.
I asked, didn't I?
It's like living on unstable ground. Every day brings more horrible news. I part company with someone not knowing if I'll ever see them again. When I was a boy, my father vanished from my life. One horrible day.
Was he in the Resistance?
No. He was a technician at a mine. He went to work and didn't come home. That happens for an Angara child somewhere, every single day.
When the Ket came, why didn't you fight?
They didn't give us a reason to. Until they did. Then it was too late. Perhaps you think we were weak. But the Ket are ruthless. They are masters at knowing exactly when and how to strike.
I get that, believe me. Have the Ket always been here?
No. Some, like the Moshai, are old enough to remember the time before the Ket. But I don't. Nor do my mothers.
And the Archon came with them?
We think so. Resistance intel on that is unclear, and few have seen him in person.
And lived to tell?
And lived to tell.
Well, enough about that. Do you have a mate? A partner?
I don't. Not for a long time.
Not for a long time.
I fell in love with a girl once. Alia. We were young. I was young. It was my first vassal on Aya. We worked on the same farm. She was a little older. A researcher. I can still hear her laugh. And see her eyes. She kissed me, and I was hers. Thrilled and seduced.
I have a bad feeling about this.
My older brother came to Aya. He was already famous in the Resistance.
Where is Aaliyah now? Did she and your brother work out?
They came back to Haval, and she joined our family. She became one of the mothers.
You have to see her every day?
No. They were taken by the Ket. Their children survived.
Well, enough about that. I'll see you later, Jal.
Stay strong and clear.
Pathfinder, sorry if things got strange last time we talked. You're the first person I told about all that. It, felt really good.
Anything I can do for my team, Liam.
Stuff like that goes above and beyond Pathfinder. At least I hope so. Anyway, made me think we should do more just out and about. Off-ship, like the market on Aya. I've got some contacts and some things I'd like your eyes on. But mostly, it's a day out. Something familiar. Turns out I need that.
I got a copy of the Nexus's movie library.
Thanks. I'll look through it. It's probably all agricultural learning vids, but there might be something good. I'll keep you posted.
Ah, Ryder. Sorry for the mess.
Who's your friend?
An exalted cat. I called Jarl to show him. Ah, there he is. Jarl, look at this. There's nothing Angara inside.
The physical can be deceiving.
I've run hundreds of tests. Only traces of the Angara genome remain. The exalted are Ket.
There must be a way to fix them.
Anything's possible. We just have to keep trying.
Even from mistakes, we can learn. Thank you, Ryder.
What?
Jarl needs to accept that exaltation is permanent. You're making his grief worse.
I didn't think about it like that.
Because you see him as a friend, not a patient. That's why I'm here. To observe and treat. Jarl is part of this crew. His welfare is my responsibility.
I know this job was a surprise, but you've really stepped up. And look, you got your Ket sample.
Their bodies are unlike anything I've seen. Centuries of gene stealing, crafted evolution. It's horrible, of course, but also fascinating.
Glad you're settling in.
Sink or swim, right? I should probably clean this up before it starts to smell.
Hello, Sarah.
How are those jokes coming, Sam?
My algorithm has reached the end of its iteration. Do you believe my sense of humor has improved?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Thank you. I estimate it is now equal with your own skill at dissembling.
Thanks, Sam. Nothing more.
I'm going to do it. I've run all the tests. It's non-toxic. If we're going to live here, someone has to take the plunge and actually try to eat things.
Dr. Tapero, please do something.
Don't do it, Suvi.
You told on me. I thought we were friends. You, sir, are uninvited from all my parties. Liam says he's planning a movie night.
That's the idea.
He's putting it off because it didn't seem right after seeing the exaltation facility. But now there's a delay. I had a thought. Every vid's better with snacks, right? I found an Angaran recipe for these little morsels you can make from a local Helios plant, but it's rare and
You want me to look for one?
Oh, would you? I'd love to, you know, be social and things.
The hell you did? You can't just undo 10 hours of work.
I had to. Your revamp risks power imbalance between decks, something we solved back home.
It's twice as efficient. Just because it doesn't match your sainted specs.
And now it does. As you say, deal with it.
Callow.
I know, just please don't let this distract you.